Math 76, lesson 118, finding a percent. So the steps to finding a percent are going to be very simple. We're going to take our problem that they give us, we're going to turn it into a fraction, and then we're going to use our rules of converting fractions to percents. So we're going to convert our number to a fraction, and then we'll convert that fraction into a percent. So let's go to an example problem. Let's see here. We'll do example 3. They tell me 12 of the 30 students in the class are boys. Boys are what percent of the class? Then we'll know girls are what percent of the class. So let's figure out this fraction and then solve the problem. So 12 of the 30 students are boys. So how would I write that as a fraction? Well, if 12 of 30 are boys, that would just be 12 over 30, right? That's for the boys. Now I need to turn that into a percent. So now that I've got my fraction, there's two ways I can turn it to percent. The first way, which is the book's recommended way, is I can just multiply by 100%, and that gives me the answer, or we can convert it to a decimal through division and then find the percent. We'll go ahead and use the book's way for now, yeah, we'll just do the book's way for this lesson, so that way we can keep this video relatively short. So once we've got the fraction, we're going to multiply that by a percent. So 12 times 100% gives me 1200% over 30. Now to find the percent, I have to divide. So let's see here, 30 into 1200%. Let's see here, 30 doesn't go into 12, but it does go into 120. 30 goes into 120 4 times. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 3 is 12. I subtract, I've got 0. Bring down the 0. 30 goes into 0, 0 times. So 40%. Great. So the number of boys is 40%, right? Now let's go to how do I find the number of girls in the same problem. So this comes up to our ratio thing that we did on a few lessons ago. If I've got a ratio number, which is like what fractions are, I'm going to have an A, a B, and then a total. Right? Right now the A is boys, that's 12. The total is 30. How can I find B? Well, I know that 12 plus B must equal 30, so if I subtract and I do 30 minus 12, I'll find out the girls' ratio number. So that comes 2, I get 8 and 1, so 18. That's the number of girls, right? That's the B ratio number. So the fraction for girls, that wouldn't be 12 over 30, it would be 18 over 30. So now, whoops, not 13, 18 over 30. So now I need to take 18 over 30, multiply that by 100%. That gives me 1800% over 30. So now I have to use a division problem. 30 goes into 1800%. Let's see here, 30 will go into 186 times. So the way that I'm figuring this out is I'm just covering up the zeros. I'm seeing how many times 3 goes into 18, and then I make sure I put that 6 over the 180, because I remember I'm actually doing 30 and 180. So 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 3, 18. Subtract 0, bring down the 0, 30 goes into 0, 0 times, 60%. Great. So the ratio of girls is 60%. All right, and there we go. I've solved the problem. Wow, that was only 4 minutes. Then we'll do one more example problem. Okay, let's say we'll try not to show you guys the answer. Let's say we've got to find out what percent of $8 is $6, right? So how do I turn this into a fraction? Well, first, how do I write a good-looking dollar sign? What percent of $8 is $6? So the way that I would turn this into a fraction is I would take the is number and write it over of, right? That's a good rule you can always memorize, is over of. So let's take 6, we'll write it over 8. Now I need to turn it into a percent by multiplying by 100%. That gives me 600% over 8. If I were to write that as a division problem, I now have 8 into 600%. So let's do some dividing. 8 will go into 60 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56. Subtract, I've got 4. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 40 5 times. And that cancels out perfectly. So it's 75%. And I've got my final answer. So remember, it's just a two-step process. If we have to find the percent, turn your number into a fraction, then multiply that fraction by 100% to find the percent. Divide to simplify. That's it for this lesson. If you guys have any questions, let me know on the school website, and I will see you in class.